Welcome everyone to Coffee with the Kingpins. She is a Vedic compatibility, and I wanted to welcome you today. I am going to speak about 2026, what we have in store for us for 2026. But first of all, I'm going to go through the numerology part of it. So, with numerology, everything goes from 1 to 9. And unless you get a master number of 11 or 22. So I will give you a little example. So my birthday is um, December, which is the 12th month, and 19. So what we do is we add 1 and 2 comes to a 3, 1 and 9 comes to a 10, so that goes back to 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, so hold that. And then we add 2026, so 2026, that comes to a 10 and 1. So 1 and 4 makes a 5. So I'm in 5 personal year. So 2025 is a 9th year. And 9 represents ending. So 9 is about what you need to complete, things that you need to complete and finish off, what doesn't serve you anymore. It's basically like cleaning your closet out of clothes that you don't wear anymore so that you make space for new things to come. And that would be in a personal year of 1. So, yeah, 9 is about completion. It's about finishing off all the things that you didn't finish off in the past, and so that you are ready to begin your 1 personal year. So I'm going to quickly go over what the meanings are. Um, so again, what you would do to find what your personal year is, you add the month, the day, and the year. And as I said, unless it's 11 or 22, which are master numbers, so we don't, well, when we do readings, we say 22/4 because 2 and 2 comes to a 4, but we still consider the master number. So again, as I mentioned, 2025 is a 9 and 2026 is a 1. So a personal year 1, it signifies the start of a new cycle, a powerful time for fresh beginnings, independence, leadership, and planting seeds for the future goals, acting as a blank slate where you can initiate new ventures, discover your individuality, take bold step forward, focusing on self-reliance and carving your own path. It's a good time actually to start new businesses. It's a good time to really plant the seed, meaning if you have ideas, so start planning, putting strategies in place as far as what you want to do. So then we go to number 2, personal year 2 signifies a year that's really all about relationships, diplomacy, intuitions, and patience, focusing on cooperation, partnership, building self-discovery through others, making it ideal for nurturing connections, finding balance, strengthening empathy rather than initiating big independent projects. It's the time to reflect on um, dynamics, learn to compromise, work as a team. Um, there is definitely a theme of romance, family, and business partnership coming to the forefront as you understand yourself better through interactions. Um, in essence, a personal year two is your chance to develop connections, build understanding, finding your place in the world through partnerships and reflection, guided by um, a gentle, receptive energy of number two. So, a personal year three. So, threes is about vibrancy. It's a time of communication. It's a very creative cycle, um, focusing on self-expression, social expansion, personal growth, a time to step into the spotlight. Um, three also rules public relations. It actually rules the movies, acting. It's really a time to step into the spotlight, explore new hobbies, connect with others, share your authentic self through activities like writing, speaking, or creative projects. It's a year for optimism, joy, and sharing your unique talents, often bringing opportunities for fun, inspiration, positive social interactions. It's following a period of foundation building, really. So, number four. As I said, again, I will repeat, you add your birth month, birthday, and the current calendar year together. Then you reduce it to a single digit. Like I said, unless it's 11 or 12. 11 or 22. 12 is also a special number, but we'll get to that later. So the four personal year in numerology is a builder. It's a time of hard work, focus on hard work. It's a year of being disciplined, creating solid foundations for the future, emphasizing on practicality, security, um, long-term goals over quick results. Um, Usually fours can be a little challenging. It's also four is a karmic number. So um, anyone that has a four or an eight life path, and you actually get your life path by adding the month, the day, and the total of the year you were born. Um, um, So if you have a life path of four or eight, four can even be more challenging. Four would be when you have to basically balance old karmas, with people that you've had past lives with, that maybe there were some uh, problems or challenges. It's about balancing it out. Um, in a 4 year, one has to also be careful not to be too stubborn because there's a tendency for stubbornness. But anyway, it's really trying to create a solid foundation, be disciplined, creating really for the future, emphasizing practicality, security, long-term goals, as I mentioned, over quick results, accepting more responsibilities. There's really a need for organization, attention to details, a great deal of focus on financial stability, with rewards that will come in the following year. Um, that is with diligent effort rather than impulsive actions. Like I said, setting you up for a lighter years ahead. So 5 personal year, which is actually my personal year for 2026, it actually signifies a period of intense change, freedom, adventure, personal growth, acting as a pivotal turning point in the 9-year cycle where old structures are tested and new experiences, travel, self-discovery, opportunities arise. It's really about breaking routines, embracing dynamism, and stepping out of one's comfort zones. But also, sometimes it brings some flux and instability and the need for adaptability, encouraging you to release what no longer serves, like number 9, um, for greater freedom and new perspectives. So it's actually an exciting year. Again, 5 can be, one can be a little impulsive, compulsive. Uh, what is the word? Yeah, compulsive, impulsive. Um, but also 5 can suddenly also present opportunities that falls in your lap suddenly from nowhere. So it has its some challenges, but it's a good year. So now we go to personal year 6, which is a cycle of focusing on home, family responsibilities, nurturing, healing, uh, emphasizing on love. 6 can be a year that many people might get married, making more of a commitment in relationship. It's also nurturing, healing, but a lot of emphasis on domestic life, community service, uh, creative projects, supporting loved ones, making it ideal for building security, as I mentioned, marriage or deepening relationship. It also brings out potential issues in these areas. It's time for taking on duties and finding harmony with your personal word. Really, the key theme of a 6 personal year is love, relationships, deepening bonds, marriage, family matters, friendships, and romantic connections. So we come to a 7, number 7. 7 is a year where you really focus on yourself, and it's a year of introspection, spiritual awakening, research, deep inner work. 7 is a very, very spiritual number. It's the time to set back from outward action. Um, so it's not about making money, it's not about working hard, it's really focusing inside with your spiritual self. Meditation would be good, doing yoga, really searching to connect more with source and your higher selves. It's a spiritual number. It's actually a number of as a life path. It's a number of an old soul who has had many high spiritual positions in the past. So it's about taking care of your health, uh, understanding yourself, your beliefs, um, really coming to understanding your life purpose. It's often a year where you actually focus more on yourself. You're not as social. It's more by solitude, seeking truth, developing intuition, um, rather than, entertaining major new ventures. The key characteristic of a 7 is spiritual and intellectual focus. Like I said, a powerful time to study meditation, philosophy, and connecting with your inner self. My life path is actually seven, so I've known from a very early age. Uh, well, I've always been very interested from an early age in esoteric uh, subjects, philosophy, numerology, astrology. So anyway, now we come to eighth year in numerology. Actually, this is the year where, all the things that you put in your place from your personal year one to seven, it's a time to manifest results. So it's a powerful cycle of abundance, authority, material success from your past efforts culminate into rewards, financial gains. It's also karmic balancing, manifesting in your life, focusing on power, business, achieving tangible results through your own planning and hard work. It's really about stepping into your power, seeing your efforts pay off, and balancing worldly achievements with spiritual understanding, making it a prime time for career growth, financial gains, financial management, and leadership. Now, I wanted to underline something. Eight also in astrology rules the house of death and rebirth, but also it rules esoteric subjects like astrology, numerology, tarot. Um, Also, for people who have a life path four or eight, I would uh, suggest that you really focus if any issues come up, try and take a few steps back and look at what opportunity it's giving you and what you need to work out, balance out. Okay. And yes, so we go to the nine personal year. As I mentioned, nine is about really clearing out your closet, whether it's your mind, whether it's um, on a practical level. It's cycle of endings, so that you can, as I mentioned before, um, so that you're ready for your personal year of one, which is new beginnings. It's completion, letting go. It's also a spiritual awakening, humanitarianism, making a time to tie up loose ends, as I mentioned, find closure, prepare for new beginnings. As I said, for your year one, it's a very powerful phase for wisdom, universal love, self-reflection, shedding what no longer serves you, emphasizing on spiritual fulfillment over material pursuits. So now let's go a little bit into the astrology of 2026. I know many of you are really eager to end 2025. I mean, we can see with what's been going on politically, the challenges that are out there. Um, it's also been a very difficult year for a lot of small businesses all over the world. Um, it's, I think it's been a pretty challenging year for most people, but now we can look forward to 2026 because 2025 was a 9-year cycle and 2026 is one, so new beginnings. So at this time, Rahu is very strong in the sign of Aquarius, and it's innovation, unconventional breakthroughs, radical beliefs in that will shift, especially concerning technology. I don't know if you've noticed or already, like how AI is growing exponentially. It's like crazy. Um, so it is affecting technology, social structures, personal ideals, pushing for futuristic thinking, but also creating potential for illusion, obsession. So you have to be careful. Also, it could be a time for significant gains or losses, depending on the individual, each individual chart. For 2026, this transit encourages embracing change, questioning old systems, and also pursuing humanitarian or technological driven goals. Uh, though it really requires careful navigation to avoid restlessness or karmic challenges with Rahu. Uh, Now, Rahu will be leaving the sign of Aquarius around December 5th of 2026, going from Aquarius to the sign of Capricorn, ruled by Saturn again. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. Um, so at this time, we will see shifts in power with Jupiter aspecting Rahu um, right now, with Jupiter being in Gemini. Um, Jupiter will actually join with K2 at the end of the year. I think around, if I'm not mistaken, December 31st. And K2 is also going to leave Leo in December 5th of 2026, moving in the sign of Cancer. So Jupiter, this year Jupiterian themes will prevail. It's final dispositor of Rahu and Saturn. Saturn is in a Jupiter's house, Pisces. Uh, it has been part of 2025, and it will be in most of 2026, actually all of 2026. So there are three major themes in 2026. Uh, January to June of 26, Jupiter transits in Gemini connects with Rahu, aspecting Rahu. Then from June to October, when Jupiter uh, returns to Cancer, because Jupiter has been going back and forth from Cancer, well, from Gemini to Cancer and Cancer to Gemini. So once Jupiter is in Cancer, it will aspect Saturn in a triangle aspect. And finally, uh, late October, when Jupiter transits Leo, it enters the sign of Leo. It connects with the nodes. Uh, as I mentioned, Ra and K2 are both moving on December 5th. Rahu moving to Capricorn and K2 moving to Cancer, the sign of Cancer. Now, I am speaking about uh, sidereal astrology, so make sure you check uh, your ascendant Um, and those two are very important. But in order to see where Jupiter is and where Rahu is sitting and where Saturn is sitting, because uh, those three are really prevalent this year. Um, so, as I mentioned, Saturn is uh, the real change maker because Saturn is in Pisces, Rahu is in Aquarius, and Jupiter is going back and forth from Gemini to Cancer, and it will land in Leo at the end of the year. The main thing to see for each of you is if you have any planets in these signs. What are the houses that are in focus for you? Like, where does Saturn sit in your chart? Where does Jupiter sit in your chart, as I mentioned? And where does Rahu sit in your chart? Um, which house is benefic? Which house is malefic for you? Uh, at the beginning of the year, the air signs are in focus, then water signs are in focus from June on. From October, the fire signs will be focus. As I mentioned, Jupiter is going to be the game changer. Yes, it is considered to be an expanding. It's a Jupiter is a sign of expansion, higher education. It's a benefic planet, but it is not a good planet for every sign. So, as I mentioned, Jupiter first starts in the air sign of Gemini, then in the water sign of Cancer from June, and then Leo by October 31st. And Saturn remains in Pisces all year, and Rahu, as I mentioned, enters Capricorn December 5th, and Ketu into Cancer. This is a year where Rahu remains prominent in its own sign, Aquarius, for 11 months in the first half of the year. It's important for those running a Rahu dasha or a Jupiter dasha um, because will be boosted by Jupiter's gaze the first half of the year and then in November of 2026. Rahu is going to bring a lot of surprises, bring chaos, sweeping change, growth for some people. Being in Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces can represent moving abroad, long distance travel, or it could be losses of energy or material comforts. There could be dissatisfaction in one's family life. It's also a time where you might change some health, um, uh, focus on health, what you can change to better your health, um, schedule better exercise events, to focus on the kind of foods you eat. There's also, with Rahu is greedy. It like looks at, it desires immense things. So there's a attitude of risk taking. Risk taking attitude will prevail. Um, and it's an important time to move away from past You want to leave what doesn't serve you behind with Saturn in Pisces because it's a number 1 year. 1 year also represents the sun. The sun always ushers in new beginnings. So look back at uh, the year that was a number one. I think it was 2017. Look back at 2017 and try and see what happened to you in 2017. That was also a sun year. See which house your sun is placed in. Also, like I said, check what your personal year is. See how that ties in with the sun. Uh, as I said, Jupiter in Gemini, aspecting Rahu, is about achieving goals and personal desires and accept rapid changes. Things happen quickly in air signs. June, Jupiter will move in Cancer. So, Cancer is a water sign. So, there's going to be more focus on home, family life. Uh, Jupiter in Cancer will, at that time, aspect to Saturn as a trine. So it's time to end outdated chapters, carving a new path for yourself, especially from June of 2026 to October. That's the most exciting part of the year. Um, yeah, the most exciting part of the year will be from October to December. We have three major shifts at that time. We have Venus going retrograde in its own sign of Libra and uh, reverting back to the sign of Earth. Unknown caller. Jupiter is moving to Leo, and we have the nodal axis shifting. It all happens from October of 2026 to December of 2026. Important dates for 2026 are the times of eclipses. So Rahu continues in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo. And then they switch, as I mentioned, on December 5th. The first solar eclipse of 2026 is in Aquarius in the nakshatra of Dhanishta, caused by Rahu. And then the lunar eclipse is going to be on March the 3rd of 2026 in the sign of Leo in the nakshatra of Purva Falguni, caused by Ketu. Then there is a solar eclipse in August, on August the 12th, in the sign of Cancer, in the nakshatra of Ashlesha. And that affects Mercury and Jupiter. And the last lunar eclipse is in the sign of Aquarius again, August 28th, and the nakshatra being Shatabishak. So February, March, August, and October 2026 are the most dramatic months. Important shifts take place between October and December of 2026. Venus retrograde from Libra October 4th to November 4th, as I mentioned, reverting back into the sign of Virgo. Jupiter moves to Leo, into the sign of Leo at October 31st, joining K2 for a few weeks. Relationship will be transformed in these 5 weeks. So will our image. Some people uh, will make a long life commitment. Many will connect with people that they've had past relationships with. Um, Things will be could be a little erratic at times. Also, erratic travel, swift development in technology, especially in AI technology. Um, some people will move abroad. Dreams can be pretty prophetic. With Jupiter in trine with Saturn for 5 months in the air sign. These are the major themes for 2026. This, of course, as I mentioned, is the sidereal sign. So the sidereal signs are 24 degrees behind the Western side. So let's say actually going to go and go through every sign as far as how, in general, let's say if you're ascendant Aries or moon Aries, what things will be highlighted for you in 2026. So thank you for being with me today. I wish you all a very happy holiday season. And yes, do give us a thumbs up. Share your love with us by subscribing and commenting. That goes a long way. And if you are interested in any specific subjects, please share that too, so I can arrange an interview with a professional that is involved with that particular subject. Thank you so much for being. Happy holidays and have a wonderful rest of 2025. Thanks so much.